The Azores archipelago is a chain of volcanic islands in the middle of the Atlantic. Because of that geography, the weather is aggressively volatile. Most photographers arrive here with a very specific plan. They expect to drive up to the edge of the Sete Cidades crater, step out of their rental car, and effortlessly capture a masterpiece. They are chasing this exact image, a pristine, panoramic shot of the Twin Lakes resting perfectly under clear skies. But the local microclimate shreds tight schedules. These islands routinely deliver 4 distinct seasons in a single afternoon. You can leave the coast in bright sunshine and drive straight into a total whiteout at the crater rim. If you try to cram crater inversions, ruined hotels, and mountain hikes into a 3-day itinerary, the math works against you. The weather will guarantee you fail at all of them. This decision tree shows how to approach São Miguel. Pick one strategy based on your constraints: time-rich, time-poor, or risk-tolerant. Each path forces a compromise. Burn days waiting for clear skies, accept the hazards of abandoned spaces, or surrender the highly unique photograph. Walking away with the definitive image of this island requires strict resource allocation. It is a logistical choice before it is a creative one. The first path means dedicating multiple days of your trip strictly to hunting one specific phenomenon at the Boca do Inferno viewpoint. You are waiting for a crater inversion. That is the brief, rare window when the Twin Lakes emerge from a thick blanket of mist, while the rim you are standing on remains completely clear of clouds. This table outlines the intense meteorological tracking required. To get that inversion, identify windows where the localized fog probability hits 75% or higher. Notice how fragile that schedule is. Potential shooting windows routinely collapse to 0% as Atlantic winds strip the moisture away. The visual reward is massive, but the cost is standing on a windy ridge for 3 days straight, staring into nothing, with 0 usable photos to show for your time. To succeed here, you have to bring absolute schedule flexibility. If the forecast shifts, you drop everything else and drive up the mountain immediately. You are building your entire vacation around a single data point. The rest of the island becomes secondary filler to pass the time until the atmosphere cooperates. Refusing to be held hostage by the weather, the second path abandons the crater rim. You go inside the abandoned Monte Palace Hotel. This location offers a different payoff. It is a massive, decaying gallery of unauthorized murals, where shattered concrete walls perfectly frame the lakes below. The environment is entirely unmanaged. You are navigating waterlogged brutalist structures, avoiding shattered glass, and walking along open elevator shafts with no rails. Capturing the heavy mood of these ruins requires a specific approach known as the low-key aesthetic. You have to embrace the chaotic, high-contrast lighting of the decaying hallways, shooting spare midtones, and relying heavily on intense post-processing to isolate your subjects from the shadows. Photographers used to achieve this look in the darkroom by dodging highlights and burning backgrounds to force the viewer's eye. Today, you have to replicate that exact manual labor digitally to make the ruins feel cinematic. The Monte Palace gives you absolute visual exclusivity, but you pay for that access with physical risk and hours of editing labor, rather than waiting out the weather. The final path is for travelers with 0 time flexibility and 0 appetite for physical risk. It is the PR04 SMI Mata do Canary Trail, a highly dramatic, exclusive hero shot. Your photos will resemble the standard viewpoints every other tourist brings home, but the hike itself remains enjoyable and immune to the extreme volatility of the caldera's clouds. If you cannot afford to waste a single vacation day waiting for the fog, this trail provides the only guaranteed return on your time. So how do you actually structure your itinerary? Do not attempt to pack all 3 of these paths into a standard 3-day visit. Rushing from the rim to the ruins to the trail guarantees frustration. You will constantly arrive at the wrong time of day and miss the highly specific conditions that make each location valuable. This quadrant chart maps these choices directly against your constraints. We are measuring visual uniqueness on the vertical axis and the required resource investment on the horizontal axis. The PR04 SMI trail drops right here in the bottom left. It requires very low investment, but yields moderate visual uniqueness. The Monte Palace jumps to the top right. You gain high visual uniqueness, but the required investment shifts heavily into physical risk and editing time. and hunting the crater inversion lands on the far right edge. It offers the highest possible visual reward, but demands the maximum possible investment of your travel schedule. If your schedule is locked, stick to the curated trail. It delivers a reliable experience when the weather refuses to cooperate. If you are driven strictly by the final image, but lack the days to wait out the fog, bypass the rim entirely and accept the hazards of the concrete ruins. There is no perfect, all-encompassing Azores itinerary. There is only the itinerary that honestly matches your personal limitations against the harsh reality of the island.